The preceding announcement has been paid for by J Thornton 64.
What's up, guys? J Thornton 64, November 10th, 2014. And this is going to be, I haven't done a video on 9/11. And I've been looking more into 9/11 the last few weeks, just, reading here, reading there, watching more videos. But I'd like to share my story. I know everybody has a story of what was going on that day or what happened. They can remember it. I remember mine well. I got into a little legal trouble 2 days before it happened, and I was staying at my parents' house. And my dad woke me up that morning. He said, "Boy, you need to come on in here and look at this." He said, "Something's happening. Something's happening." And about the time I went in the living room and sat down, the second plane hit. And I remember I said, "Is this a movie or is this news?" He goes, "No, this is news." I don't remember what channel we was watching, just irregardless. But we sat there all that morning, and I had some family coming over, or not coming over, but they were coming into Shreveport to fly out. Planes were grounded, and we met her in Shreveport. And I remember I was 26 years old in 2001. But I remember every gas station slammed. I mean, the gas pumps were slammed. Walmart was empty. All the stores were running out of everything. And I'm thinking to myself, of course, at 26, guys, I didn't really know what conspiracy was. I was really an innocent kid. Never really seen a whole lot of bad stuff in life. We had a little drinking problem. But hell, But, I was mesmerized. And I was thinking, how could something in New York affect us way down here? I mean, I understand a plane hit the building and it's not good. But how can this be affecting us here, 1,200 miles away? And I was stuck in front of the TV literally for weeks. And I was mesmerized, hypnotized, mesmerized, and I was at all. My jaw was dragging the ground. I couldn't believe it. But even then, I knew something wasn't right because it was a crime scene, right? Right? I mean, it was a crime scene. Terrorists hit a building. It's a crime scene. If they'd have come in and robbed something in the building, it'd have been a crime scene. They would have stopped what they're doing and they would have investigated. I mean, that building no more fell, and they were hauling it off. But they were trying to find survivors, and I respect that. But you were hauling it off, and where did all this material go? Well, I'm not going to speak of it because my facts are not correct on it, but I think it left the country. I'll check my facts on that. And I'll even try to leave some links as well on just shady crap that's happened with 9/11. But going back to what I was saying, I kind of jumped stories a lot, and I apologize. But I was just mesmerized that the whole, all the gas stations were slammed and everybody's getting food and water, and it was, I just didn't understand it. And it wasn't until about 2008 or 9, the more I looked into it, and this was really before I even started getting on YouTube, guys. this is back, I guess I was just looking at different websites and, reading conspiracy theorists, and it wasn't even on videos, it was all just reading. But I knew something wasn't right. The whole, and then, let me say this. The morning of George Bush being in that kid's classroom, in the classroom with the kids, you can't tell me that one of his advisors or somebody, we know the Secret Service shows up a day or two ahead of time, but don't you think that somebody would show up and talk to the teacher or talk to the principal and say, hey, we got cameras in the room, the president of the free world's going to be sitting in here, what are we talking about today, guys? Are we going to be talking about, Mark and Jane, or are we going to be talking about, what are we talking about? Is he going to be reading? Is he going to be listening to the kids read? What are we talking about? Do you think kites, hit, plane, steal, all those words would come out of them kids' mouth? Are you telling me nobody from his staff talked to the teacher and said, hey, what are we going to be talking about while he's in here? You can't make him look like a fool. You know what I mean? And that's what you talked about? I'll leave a link to that. I got that saved. But it's like, it's mind-blowing. And hey, I don't hold the president. He sat in that classroom for what? 10 minutes or so? I'm not sure. I know he sat in there a pretty good while. After the agent come in and told him in his ear what done happened. Well, what was he supposed to do? Jump up and just leave? Leave the kids hanging? There was cameras on him. Who knows? Maybe he was sitting there giggling inside. I don't know. Maybe he was wondering what the hell he was going to say when he walked out of that classroom. But irregardless, it all happened. In the meantime, Paul Bush, his papa, was flying with Bin Laden's family back over, back across the pond. So you can't tell me he didn't know shit, because he did. What do I think happened? I ain't sure. I really don't know. After all this time of looking into it, I mean, I've seen stuff about fallen angels, the planes turning into demons. What do I think happened? Well, by the building exploding outwards, that tells you something happened from within. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but you got the whole Project Bluebeam, if you haven't looked into that. The plane kind of looks like a hologram. And I'm just throwing it out there. The plane kind of does look like a hologram hitting the building, and simultaneously the bomb going off inside the building. And this might sound kind of out there too, but we've all seen what a nuke looks like on, videos of a nuke with the mushroom cloud. But the building kind of looked like it had a mushroom cloud from within. So if you could imagine a mushroom cloud that's surrounded, does that make sense? A contained mushroom cloud inside of a building trying to get out. It's kind of what it looked like. And it turned the building damn near to dust. So I'm not sure what happened. I think our government was behind it for sure. So I don't know. I just don't know. But what I do know is this. It happened. Those two buildings did fall. And thousands of people died. But he gave Bush a free pass to go attack whoever he wanted to attack. And he did. And it's been terror ever since. Terror this, terror that. Fighting for terror. Terror. It's turned into BS is what it is. Oh, it gave them a whole new free range. It gave them a whole new avenue of reasons to go fight. Hey, it's for the American safety, guys. If we don't go over here and start bombing these women and kids, y'all are not going to be safe. And you can believe that all you want. But I would like to hear your opinions, or I'd like to hear your story on 9/11. How has it affected your life? I know the world has changed. And for younger kids, kids that were, 17, 18 and under when that happened, that didn't really pay no attention, or even younger kids, they'll really never understand 9/11 to see that come across the airwaves that morning. The government's had free range to do what they wanted to do ever since. And that's a damn shame. We gave up a lot of our freedoms to protect ourselves when we were protected the whole time. And it was the government that was the evil doers. We were bamboozled, boys and girls. And as I sit here, I would like to give a little, let's see if I can flip it around here. I guess I can't. But if you can see those two planes off in the distance, that's what a plane's supposed to look like, guys. Now that's a contrail. You see, it's disappearing as it passes. There's two planes. One's kind of far away. His trail is disappearing, and the one closer to us, his is. That's what it's supposed to look like, guys. But how many times do you ever see that in the sky? I'm surprised they haven't murdered the sky today, as pretty as it is. But anyway, I kind of flipped stories on you. J Thorn 64. Remember 9/11.